Hello my friends, so welcome all of you, almost 105,000 star seeds, light workers and wanderers to this session. And today I have a very interesting channeling session with Metatron, magnetic consciousness. I have channeled your questions, specifically a recent event wherein a lady had seen something on an airplane which nobody could tell what it was. So I have asked Metatron to describe what that was, and it has been described in the channeling session. I have asked about what is actually happening in Antarctica because I received many questions from many of you regarding something happening in Antarctica, and I've asked in detail not only about what is happening currently but also what happened in our past in Antarctica, so we can truly understand what is really going on in that location. And the other question is about what will a fourth density negative planet look like. So this is a very interesting question which I also wanted to know because we have already asked about how will the new Earth, which is a fourth density positive planet, look like. But I wanted to ask, and someone had sent me a suggestion, what will a fourth density negative planet look like. So this is like like a bit of different kind of thing. And the other thing is about someone asked me the question, what is the nature of consciousness and how does it relate to spirituality? So I've asked about this as well, and towards the end I've asked about the soul evolutionary journey of Stephen Greer, who is a ufologist. If you watch UFO stuff online, you may have come into him once or twice. So I've asked about that, and also I've asked about there is a meditation created by Dr. Stephen Greer known as the CE5 meditation, and I've asked whether it is safe or not, and what kind of beings are spotted when people do the meditations. So I hope you'll enjoy the session, and before the session begins, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining on my Patreon. I have almost around 400 sessions on my Patreon. If you want to join, you can join by clicking on the link in the description. Also, I want to say thank you to all of you for liking this video, because your like is a service to humanity and it will help it to reach to others who need the information. With that being said, enjoy the session, my friends.
I am Metatron, magnetic consciousness, now communicating through this channel via the allowance of the Universal Divine Light Grid Programmer, and today I am now going to address and answer the queries which are presented at this time. However, I, Metatron, must state that each universal light child of the Universal Light Grid Programmer has to use its own discernment and free will when listening to my message today coming through this channel. Furthermore, the first query relates with an incident which the channel has seen through its eye complex, related with a lady who saw a certain creature on an aeroplane. We must state that firstly, this event, the lady in question or the entity who saw another being and was in a manner emotionally disturbed, we must state that the lady had encountered a entity in the form of a reptilian shapeshifter who was seen to be shapeshifting in the aeroplane. This was the kind of encounter which triggered the lady in question in the video as seen by this channel. Furthermore, Metatron must also state that the other query relates with, are there any types of secret bases in Antarctica? I, Metatron, must state that the answer is correct. In the location of Antarctica within the icy expanse lies a secret base that the so-called elites and many of your governmental systems have tried to conceal and keep it a secret, wherein deep within the Antarctica ice wall lies alien bases as known by your people. Furthermore, this is a location which is inhospitable for the human morally complex, and thereby it serves as an ideal location for other extraterrestrial entities, specifically the Orion Social Memory Complex and the Anunnaki Collective, as well as their counterparts such as the reptilians, Greer, entities who have established bases in Antarctica for the purpose of entering directly into the inner earth, as well as trying to manipulate the earth's crust and the native vibration of humanity. Furthermore, many of the ancient civilizations which have existed upon your planet, such as the Atlantean societal complex and the Lemurian societal complex, as well as other entities who have existed on the Earth planets, and many a times known about the location of Antarctica to be a societal factor which may lead to the advancement of a societal complex. Furthermore, during the time period of Atlantis, there was a embargo sent to Antarctica around this space-time period of 13,000 years ago for the purpose of sealing the vortex, which allows for energies and entities from outer space to enter the Earth planetary sphere. Furthermore, this was successful during the time of Atlantis. However, at this time in the human collective social memory complex space-time experience, we find that many of the negatively oriented entities of your planets have entered into agreements with these negatively oriented entities, such as the Orions, to enter into the agreement system wherein they are provided certain technological knowledge to these elite entities, and in turn the elites are able to follow the distortion or vibration of negativity in the search of trying to control humanity. We must also state that there is certain types of energetic waveforms which are found in the location of Antarctica, and many of the elites of your planet occasionally visit these locations for the purpose of submitting their will to the Orion Social Memory Complex whenever they are called to the location. And as such, I, Metatron, must state that this location primarily does not allow any type of energy to enter the Earth's planetary sphere, such as other types of beings are not allowed access to this location because the elites who are primarily approaching this location prevent the Galactic Federation as well as other positively oriented entities to directly enter into the Earth's crust, which is as per the law of preservation of free will. Furthermore, many of the expeditions have been conducted to the location of Antarctica, and further, there have been many of the understanding that beneath the ice sheets and deep within Antarctica's subglacial lakes there are extraterrestrial entities or Orion Social Memory Complex bases which have been established These bases primarily are equipped with advanced energy technology, and they also serve as research centers, interstellar gateways, or other types of systems which allow for operations to be conducted on the Earth planet. This is the prime location wherein many of the entities who are abducted in the Earth planet by the Orions are kept for the purpose of scanning of their vibrations. And from this location, an interstellar gateway to Mars is opened up. Furthermore, many of the elites as well as other types of entities upon your planet who are negatively oriented have retained the access to the certain areas of Antarctica to prevent exploration of these areas. Furthermore, there has also been a recent expedition which is well known in your human social memory complex, which is known as the Operation High Jump, which was conducted in 1946, wherein during that time, during the expedition, many of the United States military, as known by your people, found extraterrestrial entities present in Antarctica. Furthermore, after their encounter, this event was no longer found to be discussed in your vibratory space-time continuum of the Earth planets. Therefore, we shall now address the other portion of the query related with the understanding of what will a fourth density negatively oriented planet be like. Metatron must now state that a fourth density negatively oriented planet primarily is a planetary sphere wherein consciousness predominantly operates in a service to self-orientation or a negative polarization. Furthermore, we shall describe the general description of such a planet. In such a fourth density negatively oriented planet, the consciousness of each individualized portion of the universal love-light child orients towards self-service, power, control, desire, and manipulation. Furthermore, there is less cooperation and compassion found in these planetary spheres. Furthermore, there may be many types of social structures which evolved around the hierarchical power systems, with a few individuals or groups trying to seek to dominate and to control other entities. In these planetary spheres, there is a prevalence of manipulation, deceit, and exploitation. Furthermore, in such a negatively oriented fourth density planetary sphere, empathy and consideration for others is diminished as individualized portion of consciousness prioritize their own needs and desires as well as the well-being of other entities. Furthermore, cooperation may be driven primarily with the basic factor of self-interest rather than the conservation for the collective social memory complex. Therefore, the negative orientation primarily has a spiritual growth and evolution, which allows different views of spiritual growth and evolution, and more negativity. Further, lessons and experiences are focused primarily on learning about how to be more negative and how to serve the self. Furthermore, the fourth density negative oriented planet primarily can serve as a balancing factor to the positively oriented fourth density planetary sphere. allowing a karmic balance in the universal complex. Therefore, I, Metatron, shall now answer the other query related with what is the nature of consciousness and how does it relate to spirituality and the understanding of the self. I, Metatron, must state that the nature of consciousness primarily is a profound and complex matter that has been explored by various philosophical, scientific, and spiritual systems across your planetary sphere. While this is a topic which has not yet been understood by your people fully, I, Metatron, can share with you a general understanding of consciousness and its relationship with to spirituality and the understanding of the self. Firstly, consciousness can be described as the awareness or experience of being able to perceive, being able to be self-aware and to encompass thoughts, emotions, sensations, and have an overall sense of individual existence. This consciousness allows entities to experience and make choices and engage in self-reflection and self-awareness. Furthermore, the aspect of consciousness is a fundamental and interconnected aspect of the universal complex, which means that the consciousness factor transcends individual identity and allows the existence of realizing that consciousness is not limited to the physical bodily complex or the mind's complex and exists beyond the boundaries of space-time. Furthermore, the understanding of the self in relationship to consciousness is also a great part, wherein each individualized portion of consciousness explores the nature of personal identity, the egoic mind, and an interplay between the individualized self-consciousness and the product or the fabric of consciousness. Furthermore, I, Metatron, must state that upon your planetary sphere there is a great need to understand the essence of the self to be consciousness rather than to be an identity such as a name, a body, or a mind complex. Furthermore, I, Metatron, shall now address the final query which relates with what is the soul evolutionary journey of an entity known as Stephen Greer, as well as what type of entities does it attract during the CE5 meditations protocols. Firstly, I, Metatron, must state that the entity known as Stephen Greer primarily in this timeline is acting as a entity who has a basic purpose of assisting humanity in the process of spiritual awakening and to find the truth within the self. However, I, Metatron, must also state that many of the so-called entities which are attracted to the meditations of CE5 as conducted by the entity attract the Orion social memory complexes, which are primarily of a negative nature, as well as other entities are able to enter into the Earth's quarantine fields. Therefore, I, Metatron, shall now address the soul evolutionary journey of the entity whose incarnation began the timeline of 1955 and was given the name of Stephen Macon Greer as known by your people. Furthermore, prior to this, the entity was found in a location in the planet of Earth. It was found primarily in the location of inner Earth for a predominant state of third density level of consciousness. It spent approximately 200 incarnation cycles in the inner earth planes, learning about the vibration of self-awareness and the mastery of third density lessons in the timeline, which furthered the progression of the entity into the later third density level of consciousness. Furthermore, this entity, known as Stephen McCon Greer in the lands of Agartha, also had a major part in trying to awaken the Agarthans around the space-time of 4,000 years ago by allowing information of existence of other extraterrestrial beings, which eventually in the lands of Agartha led to the creation of a unified social memory complex. Furthermore, this entity, after unifying or assisting Agarthans to graduate into the fourth density around a period of 4,000 years ago, chose them to incarnate on the Earth planet for the purpose of doing the same, and the entity's current vibration is around fourth density, third sub-octave. However, Metatron can also sense that the vibration of this entity many a times enters into lower levels of third density during its current incarnation. Furthermore, the entity prior to the lands of Agartha was found in the planet of its origin in Sirius B, wherein it was known by the name of Fisak, which means the catalyst of love. In the lands of Sirius B, it began to explore lessons of learning about the vibration of first density as a wind element and as a second density, similar to the lion's elements as found upon your planet. Therefore, this is the soul evolutionary journey of this entity, and I, Metatron, now shall leave you in light and love of the universal light grid programmer. Turn to the mountain of light within yourself. Bye.
So my friends, let me explain to you the questions, what I have learned from the session. Basically, what they have said is that the lady, who was, seen in their video in the aeroplane, she actually had seen a shapeshifter, reptilian shapeshifter. That's what Metatron said. So that is why she freaked out in the video. And the other thing is about Antarctica. They said that in Antarctica, they actually have alien bases of Orions, which are being supported by the elites and some of the governments of our planetary sphere, and they are working in coordination, and even what they said is that, many people who get abducted, they are taken to Antarctica. So I think, Antarctica is this mysterious place, and there is something, like strange happening around there. And the other thing is, I had asked about fourth density negative planets. So basically what I understood is that, everything to do with the self-service and only self-interest and only looking for the self will be found on the fourth density negative planet. So this is what I understood from the session, and there will be no like coordination in a fourth density negative planet. Every being they will work together for self-interest or self-service. So the other thing is about the nature of consciousness. Basically what I understood is that we are actually greater than our body and our mind, and we are awareness in this world. So that is what I understood. Finally, about Stephen Greer, many people, they say that they do the CE5 meditation, but I want to give a warning, because what they said is that whenever doing CE5 meditations, there is a chance that the Orions are showing up, okay, because the Orions, they don't respect our free will, and they will most likely show themselves directly, okay. So the other thing is, I found that Stephen Greer itself is a fourth density being. He was in Agartha and he helped in the Agarthan lands. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the session, and I want to show you a gift which I received. Recently I received two gifts. One is from Datel Barton. Datel Barton sent me beautiful, these are beautiful, I believe, perfumes. They smell really nice, and thank you so much for sending this. And also I received a gift from Tran Catherine from Switzerland. So she sent me a beautiful gift, which is this, which will be very useful for me. And I need to say thank you to all of you for watching the sessions as well as sending me gifts. And thank you so much for sending me requests about your past life, your soul name, and any other questions you may have. I'll help you out. You can send it on my email. And I want to say thank you to all of you for getting my book version of the channeling sessions. The link is on the description. And also, I will see you in the next session. Until then, I hope you'll enjoy this session over here.